Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tate pondered at the hospital how he and Holly may have been at fault for Sarah's predicament. Holly gave him an update on their earlier hunt for the lost cabin key, which had finally located Sarah near the scene of her hit. Tate made an effort to console Holly, telling her that Sarah was in the wrong place at the wrong time for a variety of reasons. But in the end, the driver who had struck Sarah and failed to assist her was the only one at fault. Holly disclosed that she had been honest with Maggie and Sarah, and that they had both stated the same things to her. Holly inquired about Brady's response to Tate's dishonesty. Tate retorted that Brady had been preoccupied before leaving abruptly, so he wasn't sure how things stood with his dad. Tate was concerned that his dad was dealing with something more, but Holly believed that Brady's diversion would be beneficial for him. After what had transpired with his mother, he desired a closer bond with Brady. Tate made the decision to go home and face the music, and Holly made the decision to go with him. Sarah and Maggie were greeted by Xander in Sarah's hospital room. Sarah said she was determined to leave the hospital and start physical therapy because of her mom's pep talk, in addition to mentioning that he wanted an update on the investigation. Xander promised to inquire about Sarah's release status. Sarah advised him to let law enforcement handle their duties. Xander said he would back off, but he also guaranteed that the offender would have hell to pay if they were caught. Afterwards, Xander returned to the bedside and told Sarah, who was relieved, that she may leave the hospital that day. Maggie excused herself to pick up Victoria after thanking Xander for everything. When they were alone, Xander promised Sarah that she wouldn't push herself too hard once she got home. She acknowledged this and seemed happy about getting back into her own bed. Xander proposed that they remain in the estate so Sarah could have access to greater resources, and mentioned he had an idea that would facilitate Sarah's rehabilitation. After giving it some thought, Sarah decided that moving into the mansion was a wise move. She also gave Fiona credit for helping her with Victoria. One of Sarah's best decisions to date, in her opinion, was asking Fiona to the wedding. Later on, Sarah made a somewhat clumsy attempt to get into her wheelchair. She gave in when Xander gently persuaded her to accept his assistance. After Xander lifted Sarah and seated her in the chair, the two gave each other a passionate kiss. While in the police station, Brady cut Jada off on her call. When Jada asked Brady why he was there, Brady replied that it should have been clear. He acknowledged operating the vehicle that struck Sarah. Brady went on to say that he had lied about the automobile being stolen out of fear. Brady answered passionately to Jada's question about why he had chosen to come clean. He had wanted to teach his son the value of accepting responsibility. Brady also acknowledged his intense shame about driving while intoxicated. Brady described what he did as evil. He was stopped by Jada, who told him to give his lawyer a call. Since Victoria would not pass judgment on Fiona, Fiona revealed in her that it had been simple to converse to the young girl in Horton Town Square. Fiona lamented her inability to consume alcohol and acknowledged her remorse for what she had done to Sarah. Justin approached as Fiona bemoaned ruining a young woman's life. Assuming that Fiona was unrecognizable, Justin identified himself as Victor's nephew. Fiona thought back to Justin from the wedding and blamed the confusion of the day for her failure to recognize him. After expressing his understanding, Justin had a brief conversation with Fiona regarding Victoria and Xander, both of whom she was happy to have in her life. In reference to Sarah's hit-and-run case, Justin said that the police had discovered a clue. He also expressed optimism that the motorist would soon be apprehended. Fiona grinned strainedly and hoped so too. After addressing Alex, Justin thanked Fiona for returning his kid to him. Fiona looked embarrassed as Justin said that she had changed so many lives for the better. When Brady called Justin to let him know that he had admitted to Sarah's hit and run, her guilt grew. Maggie approached Fiona after Justin departed, observing that the other woman was uneasy. When Fiona revealed that Brady, Victor's grandson, had admitted to hitting Sarah, she took Maggie by surprise. Maggie was shocked to learn that Brady may have been intoxicated when he was involved in a hit and run. Fiona made a somewhat crude remark about Maggie being Brady's sponsor, but before Maggie could respond, Xander texted her. Maggie told Fiona that Xander and Sarah had taken up residence in the estate. Fiona was even more taken aback when Maggie invited her to live into the mansion as well. Fiona accepted with gusto. Maggie was concerned about Xander's response to Brady's admission, considering the ill will between the Kyriakis brothers. Fiona went back to the Salem Inn later and started packing. She said out loud that Brady did not deserve this, flashing back to her time with him. Besides confessing, she wondered what else she could do. Fiona made the decision that her relationship with Xander would suffer if she confessed. She confirmed that she had too much to lose, even though she felt bad for Brady as she retrieved her suitcase. Brady was unresponsive when John attempted to phone him at John and Marlena's house. John told Marlena how frustrated he was at Brady's lack of response. When Marlena questioned John about his suspicions about Brady, he replied that things did not seem good, especially in light of Brady's lies regarding the missing automobile. Marlena found it hard to believe Brady would drive while intoxicated, and she was particularly skeptical of him leaving Sarah in pain. John argued that Brady might not have been sober when he made those remarks. He decided to get in touch with Paul to get more information since he remembered Brady having discussed a possible fall off the wagon with Paul. John told Marlena that Paul had discovered Brady drinking after he had hung up with Paul. Paul, though, had insisted that Brady had thrown away the drink. Brady had reportedly resisted the urge to drink despite being urged. Although Marlena breathed a sigh of relief, John could not shake the sinking feeling that his first impression had been accurate. Afterwards, John went to get his keys so he could look for Brady. John could not go till Tate and Holly came. When John asked Tate why he was on crutches, he became worried and reluctantly acknowledged that he had been lying about lacrosse camp. John and Marlena were disappointed that Tate had lied to them after he told his story. Brady's preoccupied response was brought up by a reprimanded Tate, who also apologized. But the discussion was cut off when a phone call came in. When John spoke up, he appeared appalled and startled by what he had been told. After the call, John disclosed that he had been notified that the suspected hit-and-run driver was being held by an old buddy from the police station. John surprised his grandson by revealing that Brady was the guy being held when Tate inquired about the suspect. Later, Xander and a wheelchair-bound Sarah showed up at the estate. Sarah thanked Xander for his unwavering love and support, and he vowed to get anything she needed or wanted. Taking hold of her hand, Xander promised to stay by Sarah's side forever. Sarah smiled, then faltered when he went to get her some snacks. Jada called Xander as he got back to the room with the snack, informing him that the police had taken into custody a suspect. Xander desired the name of the bastard. Later, when Maggie and Victoria got home, Sarah had a thoughtful look on her face. Maggie mentioned she had a message for her daughter, but Sarah clarified that she was aware of it beforehand. How could Brady have done anything like that? She wondered her mother. Maggie questioned where Xander had disappeared but was unable to offer any explanations. Because Xander had gone to the station against her desires, Sarah voiced her serious anxiety. Concerned, she said that Xander appeared dangerously enraged. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.